Hey there, Storm fans. Bryant Cook, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to build a wishboard, some common traps, and what you should be doing to be a better deck builder. So, one thing that a lot of people do when they start playing cards like Burning Wish, Wish, Cunning Wish, and even Karn the Great Creator is they have all these grand ideas about cards that can get them out of weird situations, or they want to be everything. And that's honestly just a huge mistake. So you don't really want to be trying to be everything. You want to be trying to beat the winner's metagame. And nothing against people that run obscure cards, but you don't need to beat all of them as long as you're, doing well. Because a lot of the times those kooky cards that you'll run into aren't in the winner's bracket. So just try to maximize your win percentage and you'll fade a lot of those weird cards that your situational answers would be anyway. So a perfect example of this is running Void Snare. For years, the Epic Storm ran a Void Snare on the sideboard, pre-tracking, because we wanted to beat Leyline of Sanctity. It was a card that Tendrils couldn't beat, and you didn't really want to cast Empty the Warrens against those decks anyway. The problem was Void Snare was very rarely used compared to something like Chain of Vapor. Maybe 1 to 2% of the time, but it gave us this hypothetical out to Leyline where Chain of Vapor is something that we would use like 30 to 40% of matchups because it's good against every single non-blue deck. So you're comparing a card that's good in 30 to 40% of matchups to a card that's good in 1 to 2% of matchups. You could board in Void Snare like a Chain of Vapor, but it's just not as good. You can't use it for Storm Count. It's not an instant. It's just worse. So you're making a worse deck by playing this cute card that hypothetically could be okay. And that's my main point here is you don't want to run those cards. But how do you know that a card is a trap without having all the information? How do you know that it's only good in a small subset of matches? Well, I created a video last week on how to track your own storm data. You can check that out in the card above. And in that video, I give you a way of making your own storm spreadsheet. This spreadsheet does not track every individual card in your sideboard. You can customize it to do so, but currently we don't do that. All right, so what you can do is, edit the spreadsheet, whatever. But if you're questioning a card, start keeping note of how often you actually use it and when you use it, etc. So I'm going to share my own historical spreadsheet right now. And you'll see here I've highlighted version 6.2. This is from early April of 2019, and we started to have concerns about the usage of Past in Flames that you can see right here in this column PIF. 3.3%. If you go up, these are actually kind of small numbers. These ones right here are a small sample size, so I don't take these numbers super seriously. But if we scroll up, these are healthy numbers, but we were in this low right here, and these were all versions with a large sample. So not great. And we started questioning how useful Past in Flames actually was. And then we get back to here where these were also versions with large samples, and we were like, maybe this isn't worth it. We started tracking how often Past in Flames was better than Burning Wish for Infernal Tutor for Ad Nauseam. And we noticed that in a lot of wins where we could Past in Flames, that Ad Nauseam line was also available. So we tried a version without it, started having second guesses, went back. This version had a pretty large sample, 2.5% of the time. And part of that was we started using Infernal Tutor for Ad Nauseam just to see how often we actually needed it. So roughly 2.5% of the time. We tried it for a little bit more and then ultimately decided to cut it because it just wasn't worth its weight. You don't want a card that's going to be used 5% of the time. You really just want to maximize your win percentage and how often you'll use a card. So instead of running something like Past in Flames, you could run an additional answer to something you actually care about, like a Chain of Vapor versus, Prison decks, that sort of thing. So we also started experimenting with other engines, like Mizzix Mastery, decided those weren't worth it. And then ultimately, I think we just ended up running like Echoing Truth. But that's the sort of thing that you can get out of tracking your data. And that's why I think it's important. It's like fantasy baseball on yourself. I've said that before, and it remains true. So it helps you become a better deck builder to track because you'll get away from playing common sideboard traps because you don't need to answer those Leyline of Sanctities. You just need to beat what the best decks in the metagame are. And that will help you avoid a lot of those weird corner cases that you would be in anyway. I'm just trying to help you become a better deck builder, a better player, and a better stormer. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully I got my message across. I'm not sure if I did, but let me know. And always like, comment, subscribe, get us into that YouTube algorithm. I hope you have a great day. Keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.